Benderovich, and Fishman in the house. You ever see them guys, Derpy? They're attorneys. They're
Lawyers?
Pitts. Yeah, they're Pittsburgh lawyers, so it's like a commercial. It's always on here. Spenderovich, and Fishman. And Spenderovich, they look like two corpses, almost like being toted around like weekend at Bernie's.
Terrible.
They do.
You are terrible, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Is it? Where's my other box?
Oh,
I only got one box.
well, hold on. I forgot to do something. There we go. Now we're recording and we are live.
There you go, Spenderovich.
Is this what happens when after day after a migraine? Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
I don't know
Yeah,
where I'm at.
welcome back to the show. This is the episode 437 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is the day after Mike's migraine. Welcome
Oh,
back, everybody.
I,
Yeah,
I somehow I survived.
Mike.
My child did not want me to survive while he wanted to play his guitar while he laid next to me in bed.
Mike had vagina issues yesterday, so we
Oh,
weren't able to carry on, but we're back. Yes, yeah, baby. Here we are.
I had a brain owie.
It's all good, man.
Oh,
It's all good. This is everybody. This is what's the opposite of Victory Monday?
oh,
What's the
this is Loser Tuesday.
Loser Tuesday, everybody? Yeah, welcome back. I gotta say, I mean, I didn't. I'm not surprised. I can't say that I didn't see this coming. As a matter of fact, whenever we were talking about who we thought was going to win last week, I had the Jaguars winning 30-20 or
Yeah,
31-20. I had about a 10-point differential. I just didn't give into the account that both of these teams got really good defenses and the weather was going to be bad and the referees were going to be out of their minds. So I think that it was an equivalent of a 30-20 game, but it was 20-10. Of course, the Jaguars beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend. We're not going to pout too much about it because we're right back at it, guys. Here we are. It's Tuesday and Thursday night. We're right back at it against the Tennessee Titans. So this was the loss that I had planned. I'd said, you know what,
yeah,
we're going to take this loss. We'll beat Tennessee. We'll beat Green Bay. I'm not too upset with everything. I don't get me wrong. I'm upset with everything that went down, but when it's all said and done, I expected to take this L, so I'm not as upset as I could be.
that's fair enough. I thought it would be a closer game than it really was. The score says it was a close game, but it really wasn't that close. Um, I thought we would have played better top down, but we did not. I was hoping we'd carry over what we did in the fourth quarter into the first quarter of this game. Did not offensively, defensively. It was a great game. Yeah.
What I gotta say is this.
Ooh.
I mean, what was it really that what could have possibly happened during this game that you wouldn't have expected? It was
Right.
exactly
It was exactly.
it's exactly what we've seen so far every game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting mad turnovers. We still lose. We the thing was about this game is it was what it was, guys. I there's not much that I could take. We're going to talk about in depth here through the hour, but as the game or as the show goes on, you're going to find out that this was really no surprise. And I knew Jacksonville was good. I knew Trevor Lawrence was good. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that the score wasn't a lot more wider
Yeah.
than what it was. I think that they could have probably beaten us worse than what they did because our offense it was anemic at best. Plus, and again, I don't want to go on and on about the referees, but they give us no choice. We're going to talk about the referees today because they were just absolutely ridiculous. And again, I hate to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that goes on and on about referees because that shouldn't make the difference.
No.
But you know what? Who calls it offside on a field goal going into halftime? I mean, for the most part, there's a penalty on every down. There really is.
Yeah.
If you're a football fan, you know this. There's a penalty on every down. There really is. You could call holding on any given play. For them to call this offsides that wasn't an offsides, it was offsides on the other guy, as a matter of fact.
Exactly.
See,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like you can
and
see
to,
them clearly lined up off sides.
and to take this field goal away from us, I thought that was the very first sign for me that it was something wasn't right. Again, you go into that game down three, or the half down three instead of six. The hits on the quarterbacks. I think you could have called them a little bit more evenly. Um,
Like, yeah, there should have
yeah,
been at least one roughing the passer call on Kenny. The other one, I buy the explanation. He didn't land fully on him. But the Keanu O'Neal one was terrible as
oh,
well. I don't know what he's supposed to do there. It's just NFL officiating.
you
Whew.
take they're taking the hitting right out of football, and come on. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It is what it is, man.
Yeah,
You gotta let these guys run around and hit each other out there. It's what it is. That's why we like football.
yeah.
That's
And
what
like
makes
I
football the
understand,
best.
player safety, but also too, you have to balance it out with the actual sport of football itself.
And call it
Like not
evenly.
yeah, and none of the hits on either quarterback were egregious hits.
No,
Like
I'm only saying the other one should have been called because one was called. If you know
oh,
what, if neither one of
exactly,
those,
yeah,
and if neither of those were called a penalty, I would have been fine. I would have went on my
exactly.
weekend and been
If
totally
you call
fine.
yeah, if you call them both penalties, fine. I could live with that. I think you're
I've seen
wrong.
that hit a million times in my
Yeah,
life.
but to call one a penalty, one not, and another one going, okay, whatever. It's just consistency. That's all I ask for. Consistency. You see this like in other sports all the time. Like, oh, a blatant foul goes away, but then a ticky tacky one gets called. Oh well, that was a makeup call for this one. A lot of these felt like makeup calls, or they were just like, what, we want this game closer than what it needs to be. DraftKings is sponsoring this one, so we gotta,
Oh,
get some money.
yes.
That's what it feels like anymore. I don't want to
I
buy into that
agree.
conspiracy theory, but
Come on.
ooh,
Ever since the
It
DraftKings and these guys get involved, how weird
and FanDuel,
have these
it's
games
gotten more and
become in
more.
the
Yep.
NFL? It's every game. It's not just one. This is not just ours. Um, but again, we'll get back to that, guys. Again, welcome everybody to Loser Tuesday. Here we are, Loser Tuesday.
Well,
Um, I got to say this: with many things pointing to an imminent apocalypse going on this planet right now, you have a war in the Middle East, you have famines, you have earthquakes. But the one thing that I go by that tells me that this is the end of the world, guys, Chase Claypool got a catch. Yes, again, Chase
yeah.
oh
Claypool, watch. One catch, 15 yards, everybody. Chase Claypool is back. He's back.
And,
Miami
and
is,
and he won a game. The Miami
they
won a game. The
won.
curse is broken. The Chase Claypool curse is broken.
Chase Claypool curse is broke. So there you have it.
Uh,
That, my friends, is the signs of the apocalypse. That is the signs of the end times.
you know,
Chase
they,
Claypool, everybody, he has a
they
catch.
they really figured out how to make this guy work in the offense. I tell you, Mike McDaniel's, he's a genius. He got Chase Claypool a catch for 15 yards, boys.
Yeah.
Get the gold jacket out.
And don't get me wrong, I'm following through on this. I'm not letting this guy go an inch. I'm gonna follow him the whole way through the season, watch what he does. But yes, one catch, guys. Chase Claypool, after about a season and a half, he got a catch. You got to win.
Not
So
not bad, not bad.
not bad.
You know, you can't ask for more out of a former second round pick.
You know when I knew this game was over? And hear me out before you respond. I knew it was over when Kenny got hurt because of his fourth quarter numbers. Um, his QB rating, guys, quarters 1 through 3 this year is 43%. His QB rating in the fourth quarter is 102.5. This is when I knew that we weren't going to win. Because we weren't going to get fourth quarter Kenny. This is the only time the guy knows how to play. This is the only time the guy knows how to play football. Apparently, is in the fourth quarter of games when you're down. That is when I knew we were going to lose, guys. We didn't get a chance to see him do his thing.
I knew we were going to lose when we come back after a 2-minute warning and TJ Watt's still on the sideline sucking air. When they're driving down to potentially take a touchdown lead. I knew that's when we were going to lose, when our star defensive player, and he still didn't come back out until 2 more plays after when they called a timeout. That's when I knew we were going to lose. When our star player said, fuck it, I'm done with this game.
I seen he had a tackle too. He had a tackle
A, a
like a tackle
tackle
on a
and a
running
half.
back. I seen this. I seen it with my
He
eyes.
he had one tackle, a half sack. Somehow Highsmith had 4 tackles and a half sack. So 5 tackles and a sack. The amount of money we are paying both of these gentlemen, that should be one of their stat lines, not their stat line combined.
I gotta say,
And and fans want us to go out and make trades to get a cornerback that we're gonna have to pay $40 million, $75 million to over 3 years for. Why? We have the highest paid defense now. They can't do shit anyway.
I
Let's
gotta
just
say
add to it.
this. I'm not disappointed in the defense. I'm really not. I think the defense really did all that it could.
They did
I
what
mean,
they could. Yeah.
they got three turnovers. They forced three turnovers, which
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the tops in this department this year. This is an area
Well,
last year that our
don't get me
inside
wrong. Yeah, I
linebackers
agree.
weren't involved with one. We're 13, 14. I don't know, somewhere right around that area, and just behind Jacksonville, I believe. So I gotta say that against Jacksonville in the rain, that 20 points is a respectable. That's
Yes,
a respectable.
it's very respectable. But what I'm just I'm trying not to go off on a major rant about how TJ Watt disappeared the past two games.
I mean, we held ATM, I mean ETN to the minimal on the running game, and the defense
He
did
was gashing us at the end of the game, though.
well.
We just there was no answer for him.
We just I thought that okay, Z got a pick, got a few sacks. Landon Roberts, he had a sack and a half.
Yeah,
Um,
like
I,
the role players played well, but the big money guys,
losing Minka at an early point in this game with another hammy. It's the year of the hammy, everybody. Here we go.
it's endemic through the NFL. It's
Who's
just
who's gonna hammy? Whose hammy is it gonna be next week, guys?
TJ Watts. Why not? He hasn't played the past two games anyway.
Um, but again, I wasn't disappointed. I thought the defense played well. I thought
Uh,
if we had any kind of an offense, this would have been a game.
oh,
Let me give you an idea of what I'm
oh.
talking about here.
I see. I knew the game was over the minute Kenny threw a good pass and Deontay dropped it.
Um,
That's when I knew the
here's my
game was
beef, Mike.
over.
Can I give you an honest opinion of mine without causing a stir because we have a lot to go over today.
Oh,
DJ, I wish, and with the exception of maybe one play I could remember, that every single play he wouldn't attempt to run to the sidelines. I wish that he would put a little extra effort in moving north and south because I think that he could be more productive, and that would be a scary DJ if
mm-hmm.
DJ
Yeah,
would decide to try to go north and south instead of running out of bounds all the time. It's an effective thing to do, running out of bounds. The guy from the Rams, one of them successful guys from the
yeah,
Greatest Show on Turf, that was his thing. I mean, he didn't get hit all season,
yeah.
but I just wish sometimes he
Oh,
would
yeah.
turn
I get it too.
upfield.
Like sometimes, like put your foot in the ground and just get
Maybe,
what's there.
maybe you could get a touchdown because if you think of the way that like George Pickens' touchdown went down, no one thought that he had what do they say, a 4% chance of scoring that touchdown.
Right? That thing was otherworldly.
If you're a very talented guy, which he is, I'm not taking that away from Deontay at all. If he would, in fact, turn upfield and try to make a play every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
I think that he would be up there a little bit more higher than he
Yeah.
is. Again, that's just an
Yeah.
observation that I made
Yeah,
during the
I saw
game.
that. I noticed that too because he's always
He's so
that guy.
fast. Come on,
He's so
man,
fast, and
make a
he's trying to
play.
like out juke people, which he can do. But at the same time, you put your foot down, you go right ahead. You might not break it, but you're going to get maybe another yard or
It's
two.
almost like Mike. It's almost like he's waiting for the play to come to him instead of going after and getting that play.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
where
kind of the way.
he's relying on his quickness instead of his straight line
Right,
speed to make that move at the end. Yeah,
right, and but let me give you some of these anemic offensive numbers. Our rushing leader of the day, guys, against Jacksonville was Jalen Warren. He had 5 carries for 19 yards.
woo,
Second, Trubisky, 3 carries, 18 yards. And our third leading rusher of the day was Najee Harris with 7 rushes for 13 yards. Receiving, DJ had 8 catches for 85 yards. That's good. We could all agree on that.
yeah,
Najee Harris and Connor Hayward both had 5 catches. Was next, and unbelievably, only one catch by this man. This
mm-hmm.
guy should be touching the ball every other play, in my opinion. If he was on a team that knew how to do things right, and you look at these teams where Devontae Adams gets the ball often, and you find a way to get the ball to these receivers. George Pickens 1 catch just happened to be that touchdown, which was an amazing play.
Yeah,
They said 4%. He had a 4% chance of scoring. He runs through 2 guys. I mean, it was video game shit. And he scores this touchdown. It was an amazing play. I would like to see more of it. You just got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of these 2 guys more.
yeah. exactly. That's what you need to do. You like said Deontay, he had that early struggle, but I just want to say he balled out the rest of that game.
I had
That
no
guy,
problem with
he
Deontay.
left it all out on the field. I just want to, much as we want to shit on him, he left it all
I
out
think he
on the
could be so
field.
much better, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's what pisses me off
yeah.
about Deontay.
But
It's not that I
like,
don't like him. I
yeah,
really know that he can be better.
yeah, and you can see it too. That like he really cares. He's like you can see it on his face. He cares. He gets down on himself. I would speaking of this popped in mind. Do you think he gets too down on himself? Do you think he's one of those guys that
I
gets in
don't
his
know.
head
I can't tell.
sometimes? Because he you can see it on his face that he cares about winning, losing, helping
He's
the team.
tricky. He's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some part of him that makes me feel that he has this arrogance to him that kind of pisses me off. But there is another part of him. There's a
Uh-huh.
part of Deontay that I see that maybe some other people don't see. That as you said, he does. He cares a lot. I just think
Yeah.
that there's things that Deontay could do to make Deontay better.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, maybe turning up field a couple times, trying to make the
Yeah.
play out of something, maybe not going backwards because on one of the plays that I do recall in the middle of the field where he didn't get out of bounds, he did go backwards. You've seen the pursuit hit him fast and
Yeah.
hit him. So a couple things here and there he could fix it.
Yeah.
He could be a lot better of a player. I don't know
Yeah.
what the reasoning is why he doesn't make these adjustments, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Back to George Pickens. Yeah. It was in that first quarter when he was wide open, headed to the sidelines. The ball's thrown just a little further upfield. Kenny hits him in stride. It could have been a touchdown,
Yeah.
but Mitch was forcing some passes to him.
Yeah.
So, like, they're trying to get him involved, but it's like some of the quarterback plays just not helping him out a lot.
Right.
Because there are a couple times like if we hit him in stride, he's gone.
There was a play, getting Terrell, uh, Calvin Austin. I'm sorry, getting Calvin Austin a couple shots downfield is always a good thing because
Mm-hmm.
one of three things is going to happen, and one did happen on one of the plays. You get a pass
Yeah,
interference call. That's just as big as a 30-yard
exactly.
reception.
Yeah. That was a
Lagoons.
weak pass interference call, by the way. I thought it was weak.
You know
I
what?
thought the
The whole
ball.
game
I
with these
thought it might have been.
referees.
I'm watching. I was like, my dad and I were like, that looked uncatchable, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
But it looked like a ticky
Oh, I
tacky
thought so
one.
too.
It
And
felt like
that's
a
the thing. I get.
makeup. They made up for that for the one that they called on James Pierre. That one felt like a makeup call.
Yeah. These referees were real bad. And
They
again, I don't want to
were,
go on about the referees, but they were real
but
bad.
they were like it was like noted throughout like all on Twitter, like different fan bases. Even like Ravens fans were like, "What the
Yeah.
hell is going on with the officials?" You know, it's bad when your biggest rival fan base is going, "Something's not right here." But yeah,
Uh,
it was they were a part of the game. They were a key part of the game. So that's it's hard not to talk about them, but they influenced the game.
oh, it's like watching the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna call something, call it consistently across the board. I'll bitch about it, but at least it's being called fairly. But you don't call it fairly, that's when you get greatly criticized.
Cole Holcomb leads the team in tackles. He has 7 tackles, 4 assists. Landon Roberts, again, he has 1.5 sacks. KZ, an interception. Highsmith, Watt, and Watts, they were all half sacks like you, Mike.
Fuck
The
you.
defense had 3 takeaways. Boz 1 for 2. Um, Terrible Towel was disrespected.
And
It
we
wasn't
still
at first.
lost. And we
Yeah.
still lost.
Well, here's the thing. Now you just got to watch it play out. A lot of times, because remember when the Patriots beat us back in '04? There was a couple times when it didn't take effect right away, but
Like the Bengals.
the Bengals, he shined his shoes, and then after that, it was like the next 8 years they were terrible. So you have to, you got to give it time to set in. But I mark my words, the Bengals or the Jaguars, they're going to feel the curse.
They're going to feel the curse as they lift the Lombardi. Trevor Lawrence blows out his his
Yeah,
shoulder.
that kid's tough. You know what he looks like? He reminds me of one of them. You ever see like when they talk like about different species of aliens? They have like the
Uh-huh.
grays, and then
He
the
does look like
whites. Have you ever seen the whites?
yes.
He looks like one of those whites. They always have like the long hair.
Oh,
Amazing talent.
I hate him.
Kid knows how to
I
ball
hate him
out.
because he's not on our team.
I know.
And he looks like that surfer dude. His just life is so easy for him.
I know.
Fuck him.
Mike, the Steelers, Derpy, the Steelers, they dropped the 7th ranked seed now in the AFC. Believe it or not,
Still hanging in there,
we
baby.
listen to this. Every team that would make the playoffs right now in the AFC all have records above 500. Every team that wouldn't make the playoffs all have records below 500. So as long as we hang in there, we're somewhere in the race.
Yeah.
Right now, we
Hey.
are the seventh seed. If the playoffs started today, we would play the Dolphins, which would be a disaster. But
Oh,
be it as it
we
may,
would make the playoffs, baby.
be it as it may, and here we are. We're coming up on the halfway point. I don't know how you want to slice the season in half because it's literally 8.5 games is the
Yeah.
halfway point. But we're coming up on the eighth game of the season. Somehow, some way, here we are. We're still sitting in a playoff spot. We're still above 500. We still have no losses in the division. And guess what? We are this close from having the same record as the San Francisco 49ers. Come on.
How? How? How?
Think of
How?
what the Steelers are. Think of what the 49ers are. We basically have the same record.
That,
If it wasn't for a bye week, we could have the same record.
that's it's insane. It's in my brain can't comprehend the fact that we have the more or less the similar record to the San Francisco 49ers who fucking curb stomped us.
The
You
49ers
know,
are 5-3. They're sitting in second place now in the division. They lost their first place. They're the third best team in the NFC. There's two teams ahead of them, one of them being the Seahawks, who sit ahead of them in the division.
how?
Unbelievable. And check this out, the 49ers, Mike, listen to their next 5 games. They have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh,
This one here is not so much, but it's a decent team in the mix compared, think of who they lost to. So you
yeah.
got Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Seattle, who's ahead of them, Philadelphia, and Seattle again. So
That's a
considering the 3 games that they just lost to the Browns, the Vikings, and whoever
mhm.
they just lost to, they have these 5 teams coming up next.
That's
So
a tough that is a tough stretch. Even Tampa Bay, they're a competitive team. Baker Mayfield's playing really well. They still have some really good talent on that team. That's going to be a tough one. They don't have an easy schedule at
they do
all.
not. After that, it's like I got the Cardinals and a couple other teams, but these 5 games, this is gonna determine what the San
Yeah,
Francisco 49ers do. And here I thought we were going to be looking at a 16-1, 15-2 team at the end of the
yeah,
year. Very surprising, see what's going
yeah,
on out there. But you know what? That's the NFL, and I love it.
yeah. Brock Purdy got the brain alley. I think they rushed him back. He didn't. He looked out of sorts. It might be time to shut him down for a week and test your luck with Sam Darnold. See what happens.
I don't think it could hurt at this point. You just lost 3 games in a
He
row.
just lost 3 games in a row. No, let Brock, let him rest up. Let him, he's still young, so let him watch the game from the sideline. Just
Yeah.
shut him down for a week.
He
Like you
won
said,
mad games. It wouldn't hurt to, give the guy
yeah,
a little break. I mean, he's
yeah,
only a sophomore.
yeah. Let it, just see what you can. It really if your system's so good, you shouldn't lose a whole lot going from Purdy to Sam Darnold. Mr. Irrelevant to a
Right.
a top 10 pick. Even though they've each played how you would expect the other to play at this point in their careers. But San Francisco, they got to try something different to stop this
Oh, they
skid.
got exposed. Now they have to make the adjustments
Yeah,
because people
yeah,
adjusted to what they were doing.
let's see how good Shanahan really is. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, they lost some key players, but they still have that roster is deep and stacked.
Some injuries, Mike. The Minka Fitzpatrick, of course, with the hammy goes down. He will not be available this
That's a
week.
huge one. That's a huge one. I read right before we got on air it could be like 3 to 4 weeks.
Um, Kenny is a game time decision. Apparently,
Ooh,
he was okay to come back, but you know what? I'm glad he didn't come back in the second half because at this point, he's our best option at quarterback at this point. And if he would have came back in, and I don't know, I'm fine with the way things like played out. As I said, I didn't expect the
yeah,
Steelers to win this football game. I'm not
yeah,
super pissed. And again, we're sitting at 4-3, not far off from what the
yeah.
San Francisco 49ers are at this point, almost halfway
Hmm.
through the season. Again, I'll take it. A couple other things. Let's see, Kenny. Also, Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward is a possibility to make his comeback this weekend. He's been practicing since last week. Mike, do you think a Cam Hayward return makes a significant difference on our defense?
I mean, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. Our run defense is porous. Um, you know, even last year when Kane was in there, we still got ran on. But you would hope he's better than what we have out there. So I was actually kind of looking forward to his return. I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm not a big Cam Hayward guy. I think he's vastly overrated.
At
But
this point, we'll take what we
we
can
we
get.
said we like we said, man, he has like 5 really good games a year that had his stats, and hopefully he can cram them in these last
We're due.
handful of
He's
games.
due.
So he's due for those good games and ball out, man. Hell yeah, I hope he comes and is a wrecking ball, looking like himself, like he was in his prime when he truly was a consistent great player. The Jacksonville, he missed the Jacksonville game because the last time I remember him playing Jacksonville in the playoffs, him and Stephon Tuitt got, ran down the field on every fucking run play. Then he had the audacity to stand there after the game, act like he had nothing to do with it, and said we instead of I. But hopefully he can come in and play these last handful of games like he has really well in those 5, 6 games a year that he does well in because we need it. And if he
And
wants
I
to
thought,
prove how great of a player he is, he needs to come out after this injury and ball out. Be a true great like Mario Lemieux, who missed half a season and won the scoring title. Cam Hayward, you need to step up to that level. If you want to talk about yourself, how it's you, Aaron Donald, and everyone else, you need to come in and prove it's you and Aaron Donald and everyone else.
I mean, come on, that's ridiculous anyway. But
But hey, he's the one who said that.
yeah,
That's the standard for Cam Hayward is Aaron Donald and him and everyone else. Well, prove it.
the rain, I wasn't expecting that the weather to affect Jacksonville because northern Florida, they get a bunch of shit rain up there too.
Yeah,
And
they're used to that
it
shitty weather.
affected both teams. You've seen it with some fumbles, on their team. You've seen it with some interceptions
Mm-hmm.
altogether. So that was even. That was equal. Again, a 10-point loss to Jacksonville is what I was thinking. And
It's
again,
yeah,
it wasn't too far off. Unfortunately, it was in a way that I don't want to see it. It was being decided by referees on stupid plays
mm,
because again, Chris Boswell, you see him slip on the kickoff,
yeah.
and then
And
on
you
that
never see
second,
him mess up like that.
no. So you
Yeah,
take that field goal back off. Now he has to kick a 63-yard field goal on that, in the elements. So again, it was the referees that I think decided the game more or less. I don't think that we were a better team. I think that our
no,
defense played out of their mind. I don't get me wrong. I think our defense played a great game. Again, it's just we're less than par offense. I just don't know what we're gonna at this point. I just don't know what we can do about it. The only thing we could do about it is make changes as we move on. But at this point, um, I mean, we didn't throw to the tight end again. Again
no.
Connor Hayward, but I have such a hard time calling him a tight end sometimes. But
Yeah.
I guess he got a couple throws.
He tell you what though, he runs his routes are so much better than Mount Washington's. Like that's like he still needs to work on that part of his game.
I just
He's a great blocker. It's his route running, trying to get open. You
where
know,
you got to put Mount Washington when it's 3rd and 7. You got to run a pattern where he runs about 9 yards, comes back on a hook, and stands there. It's a
yeah,
7.5 mark and catches the ball because he's so big. Put it
yeah,
high, put it to where only he could get it.
yeah. You really can't overthrow him.
Right. And you put him right around that mark, right around the first line, right around the goal line, anywhere you're in a situation where you need him because he's so big.
Yeah,
He
you would
should
think
be
he
able to make a play.
yeah, you think he'd be able to out jump some of these, guys that they're gonna
They're
have guard him.
5'10,
Yeah,
5'9 cornerbacks,
yeah.
you
But like
know.
that was like the knock on him though, is his route running and being able to get open. Like, when he gets the ball, he can we saw what he can do. He can steamroll people. Yeah, that was college, but still, he's a whole hell of a lot bigger than a lot of the defenders out there.
Oh,
So
jeez, oh man. You see him in the huddle, how big he is.
oh God, you see him next to like that training camp photo. It's him and Calvin Austin. It looks
It
like bring your kid to
looks
work
like
day.
it looked
Bring your
Photoshop.
toddler to work day is what it looked like. So they just find ways to get him the ball, but if he can't get open, I don't want to force it to him because now I don't mind forcing the ball to like someone like Deontay or Pickens because with them you have a feeling you throw a 50-50 ball to them, they're going to catch it or they're at least going to make it to where it's an incomplete pass. With him, I'm not too sure right now.
Now, Mike, we are tied with the 49ers all time with 55 games in a row under 400 yards. This is not the record though. I got to tell you,
One
the
more week,
only
baby. Right?
the only the only team now think of the 55 games of you haven't got four. But anyway, listen, only one team has done it better or worse. The 2005 to 2010 Raiders, led by Jamarcus Russell, did it for 75 games.
That is hey,
75 games where you couldn't get 500 or 400 yards. I'm not making fun of Jamarcus. I'm just making fun because look at that.
look
That's
how
what one more team. We're the second worst
hey
ever in this area.
but yet somehow we've had a 500 or a winning record. We haven't had a losing season in that stretch. Crazy. Here's
Yeah.
another number to go on top of this. I was just looking through stats. Ben's last year, he threw 22 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's retired, Kenny
How
Pickett
does it?
has thrown for, when have the stats right here. Kenny Pickett combined his career 12 touchdowns. Mitch
Mm-hmm.
Trubisky has 5 touchdowns in Pittsburgh, and Chase Claypool threw for a touchdown. That's what, 18
18.
touchdowns we've thrown since Ben retired. In his last year, we still have not yet reached his last season total of 22 touchdowns.
And we have still not yet, as a fan base, realized that that happened because it was a franchise quarterback, and it's not
Yeah,
going to happen again
not
until
going to
we
happen.
have a franchise quarterback.
No, like both of the guys that we have now.
I warned people. I warned everybody. I said there's going to be
Oh yeah,
life after Ben, and boy, are we feeling life after Ben, man.
we are like both quarterbacks we have right now. I don't know if they're quality NFL starting quarterbacks. To me, they're like that the 35th, 36th quarterback in the league. They're quality backups. I don't know if either one right now. I don't trust either of them to start a season wire to wire to get me to where I need to get to.
If we had a quarterback that played the
Kenny will pull it out in the fourth quarter every once in a while, but you can't. That's not a key to long term
if we
success.
had a quarterback that could play the first 3 quarters, I would be fine with it because again, just keep us in contention to put
Keep
Kenny in a position to win, and
Yeah, but like it's just I don't know. And I don't trust any of the quarterbacks in free agency in the draft again. I don't want to go back to that route again. You know, so it's going to be an interesting man. Right now we have like two Kent Grahams on our roster.
oh, you
That's
just
what it
wait.
feels
It,
like.
it gets better. Just let me get down my list. Let me get down my list here.
Oh, I can't wait.
Gunner was released by the Giants. Boy, he's being bounced around like
Oh
a two
yeah.
dollar whore, ain't he? Jeez, oh man.
Hey, he's collected like at least a week's worth of game checks or
He
some
gets
shit.
picked up for a week, and then the next week he's gone. And he gets picked up by like what is it's like James Washington shit.
Yeah, yeah. Gunner's just trying to collect unemployment. Teams keep signing him.
Speaking of the Giants managed to throw for -9 yards passing versus the Jets. Anybody catch this? You thought we had it bad. The Giants
I
guys
did not see that.
minus, I think the starter had 8 yards passing. Then you put the sacks in. They had
Oh,
-9 yards passing versus the Jets guys.
yeah, because Tyrod Taylor, he was 4 of 7 for eight
Taylor,
yards.
Tyrod, yeah.
Tyrod, yeah, but he ended up getting hurt and he was sacked twice for 7 yards. Then Tommy DeVito, he was 2 of 7 -1 yard passing, then two sacks, 9 yards each. So,
How do you
whew,
like that?
whew.
Just when you thought we had it bad, we're sitting here almost with the same record as San Fran. We're sitting here in a playoff spot, and we don't, we're better than the guys that only threw -9 yards in the football game.
Oh,
We're finding a way. The Steelers find a way to hang in there. They always do.
dude, their quarterback rating combined was a 50.3. The Steelers last week combined was 59.4. So,
I come on, they threw -9. How the hell are we both in the same bracket?
oh, this is great. I you just love quarterback play in the NFL.
Well, speaking of quarterback playing the NFL, Minnesota's quarterback Kirk Cousins
Ooh,
goes down for the season with a torn Achilles. That's big.
that's
That's huge.
huge. It's huge.
The no
Does
chance
Minnesota?
that this team has now, they have, or had before, they have even less now.
Hey, we have a couple quarterbacks on the roster. If you want to spare a first round pick for either of them, um, just send that pick our way.
Mm.
I
Another a couple more funny NFL notes, Mike. Then we do have to grade. We got to grade by position. Derpy, get ready. Also, we got to go through scores, divisions, a couple things we got going on here. So, couple NFL side notes. Who guys, Derpy, Mike, who did you like better throwback uniform wise? Did you like the
ooh,
Houston Oilers worn by the Tennessee Titans or the Seattle Seahawks? Those are the uniforms that I grew up watching the Seahawks play in. Which uniform did you prefer, Mike? The Oilers or the Seahawks? An old AFC matchup.
I like the Tennessee ones wearing the Houston Oilers.
Yeah,
Those were talk about throwback vibes.
I
I
loved
was
it, man.
I was ready for
I
See
like
Steve
the
McNair and Eddie George out there against Greg Lloyd and the boys.
I like the fact that they went all out. Their end zone said Oilers. The banners around the
Yep.
stadium said Oilers, and I understand it pissed people in Houston off, and I get it. But you know what? It was really cool for older guys like us to see that uniform out there. To think, makes you think of Warren Moon and Haywood Jeffries and Lorenzo White and the whole,
Uh-huh.
all them old time Oilers, which was a lot of fun. Derby, which one did you prefer? Did you like the throwback Houston Oilers, or did you like the Seattle Seahawks better?
I like the Seahawks.
And they were nice too. I like them both.
I was just never a big fan of the Seahawks jerseys.
Um,
They feel plain to me. I don't
this game, Denver, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost by 100 points a couple weeks ago, if you recall, to the Miami Dolphins. They end up beating the Chiefs, which is a division team.
know.
We
Yeah.
talk about this often, but I think the biggest highlight of this game was in Denver. They played Taylor Swift in the stadium after the Chiefs were upset by Denver. Does that add salt to the injury, Mike? Is that
That
and one thing embarrassing enough that your team is being represented by Taylor Swift. If you're a football man, if you got to get your beer before the game, and that's kind of an extra hit, I think, for a team like Kansas City that they're out there mocking you with Taylor Swift music.
hey, that was Denver's Super Bowl. That was the first one against the Chiefs in 16 games.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't bother me too much. I would if I was a Chiefs fan and they were playing Taylor Swift, I'd be like, really, that's all you got after we kicked your ass for 16 games in a row. You're gonna bring up Taylor Swift.
but it's the big
Okay.
story right now. You kind of have to. I mean, what else would
You
you? I mean,
have to, but yeah, using that to try and mock me, like, okay, I'm sorry. I got, one of the, you
I'd
know,
be embarrassed.
one of the biggest music acts in the world following my team around, getting more
Uh,
eyes on my team.
on the board, Steeler freak. Yes, you're right. Earl Campbell shirt getting ripped with two guys hanging off him.
Oh, I
That's
forgot about
certainly.
that. Yes.
Yeah, I love the old Oilers uniforms, man. It brings back many memories.
His jersey getting ripped like his hips. Ooh.
Um, let's see here. Let's go, Mike. We're gonna have to jump to the grading of the positions
Do we
from this
have
game.
to?
Well, we're gonna do it quick because we do still have a lot of stuff to go over here.
Nuke this segment.
Derpy, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Let's start with the quarterback position. Of course, always number one, the quarterback spot. How do you feel the Pittsburgh Steelers? Where do you grade the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks by performance in this past week? Mike.
D. A D.
Okay.
D. They were just donkey balls, man. They both suck donkey balls.
The thing was yeah.
Yeah, they did. They both suck donkey balls.
There was
It was
there
a
were
rough one.
there
It was
was
a rough one.
uh,
You just want to burn the game film if you're a quarterback on that one and just burn it.
it goes. I think it goes
Mitch
deeper,
coming in
but
trying
again,
too
I don't.
much. Kenny missing a couple
Well,
things
here,
early. It was bad for both of them.
but listen, there was 8 catches for 85 yards to Deontay, and you know what? I gotta say that those throws were there's a lot of those throws that were nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
but
there were throws.
but they both
They
missed
played
some good
they
plays.
both played worse. I think before. I'm saying
Yeah,
that they definitely both played worse. But let's see, Derpy quarterbacks. Mike gave him a D.
C minus.
All right. Let's go to the running back position. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Jalen Warren led the team with 5 carries and 19 yards. Mike, what do you grade the running backs?
Jalen had he had a nice little run here and there, but still D. They did not do
Yeah.
enough. They didn't do
Derpy,
enough.
running backs.
C.
And the thing is, with Trubisky being the second leading rusher, wouldn't be abnormal if it was a guy like Lamar Jackson or a quarterback that actually
Yeah,
runs. The fact that it's Mitch Trubisky
yeah.
and he is the second leading rusher, that's the
Well,
part that's
he looked
disturbing to
quicker.
me.
He looked quicker than Najee.
I do.
So much quicker. That dude can't. I'll get to him in a second.
When did he lose his heart? I
He
can't.
he can't he can't see a hole. He can't hit a hole. He has no burst, no acceleration. And I guarantee you, this offseason, what's he going to do again? He's going to bulk up again.
Um, tight
Hmm.
ends. I mean, if you can grade the tight ends, Mike.
See, Connor Hayward did something.
Yeah, he caught a couple passes.
That's about it.
Derby,
About
tight
it.
end. Tight ends.
C.
I think Derby's all he gave us was a bunch of Mexican yeses. See,
It's his cousin from Guatemala,
yeah, see,
El
it's
Durpo.
El Durpo.
Was that
See,
racist? Send the complaints to 2 dumb users at Mike.
there you go. As usual.
As usual.
With the wide receivers,
Mm.
let's think about this for a minute. Let me paint the picture before you make a call here. Deontay Johnson, 8 catches for 85 yards. Pickens only 1 catch. Again, was this his fault? And the 1 catch that he did, he scored a touchdown on an amazing play. I guess that's it. I guess Calvin Austin that he drew a pass interference.
Yeah.
But these are the things I just want to throw out there before you
Yeah.
make your
Oh yeah,
decision.
yeah.
What did the wide receivers get, Mike?
I'm going with the C plus.
All right.
Deontay, that catch to start the game, he I was expecting him to catch it. It was right there. I thought he had it. But he did bounce back, like you said. He bounced back for huge. George, yeah, that one on the sidelines. You're hoping he can get that last toe in right before it hit the white. But yeah, C plus, C
Or
plus.
the the other things, the problems, the issues, the fines, the unpersonal, personal, whatever. They've had a lot of issues that have nothing to do with catching the ball, nothing to do with making
Yeah.
plays. Do you think that that's weighing down this receiver core at this point, Mike?
No,
Or
no, because we didn't see any of that this week. There were no taunting fouls. There were no, blocking the back fouls. They didn't have any off pass interference calls. So I thought,
just the overall discipline, I guess you could call it, the receiving core. Derpy, wide receivers.
B.
All right, fair enough.
Derpy's very lenient with his grades. I
That's
want
all
him as
right.
my next. I want to go back to school and Derpy's going to be my teacher.
That's all right.
Grade my papers, buddy.
The offensive line,
D.
Derpy.
Derpy.
D.
A B. Did you say a B?
D.
A D. Yeah,
Yeah, they open up no running lanes.
it
Pass
was
protection
bad.
wasn't that bad. You had your typical couple, a tackle get beat. That happens every game, but because it's Dan Moore and Chooks, it gets magnified. But I was more worried about the rushing game.
I don't know. Maybe if
They're not firing off the ball, man. They're all just like, ugh.
yeah, it's not a really good team, guys.
No, and fans want us to
They're
add trade for cornerbacks and
they're just not
safeties.
performing well. They're not a good performing team this year. They're
That's
just not.
like,
It's
yeah,
they're
like I
perform
forget. Yeah, Chris Long, on his podcast, he was like, you want to blame this guy, this coach. How about you just fucking execute? It's just
right.
simple things. Just execute, and those things might have, plays might work. Got to start with executing.
We got to jump over to the defensive side of the ball, Michael. What do you think about the defensive line?
I'm gonna go C minus. C minus.
Derpy, defensive line.
B.
Okay. Inside linebackers. Let's just go linebackers overall.
The inside backers are going to elevate this grade for
Absolutely.
me. C. My or two highest paid people on the outside. Statline says they played a little bit. Inside backers played their dicks off. The two outside, TJ Watt, highest paid player on the team. Oh, he was being held. You're going up against a rookie right tackle. You can't beat him. I saw you get blocked by a skinny white tight end. Are you fucking kidding me? $122 million. I don't care if you have a finger owie. Do something. You're a highest paid player on the team. You were held to that standard. Okay. You're held to the Roethlisberger standard. You're held to the Crosby standard. That's the standard you were held to. You're a former defensive player of the year. Make a play. Oh,
yeah. See, I don't hold it
but I
against
love
him like
TJ.
everybody else does.
I love TJ, but
Because any given point, he could intercept the ball. He could force a fumble. He could pick it up. He could run it back for a
but he
touchdown.
didn't. But
You
he
just
didn't.
can't do that every single play, no matter who you are. It's just not. Nobody does.
You're getting paid,
Nobody
you're getting
does that
paid that.
every single play. Nobody in the history of the game has done
More
that
than
in
one tackle.
every single play. I don't get the hate so just recently on him.
I love him. I love him. He's my favorite Steeler. But
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
again, if it was Madden and we juiced up our team, you could get upset that he's not making that play for you every single time. But these are real life people, and the fact that
Still gonna.
I'm not
I
upset with
know.
TJ. I think that
I am.
I think he played well enough.
I
Derpy
don't think he did.
linebackers.
Um, B
Okay.
minus.
The Steelers freak that inside backer group. Oh, huge upgrade from last year.
Ooh,
Huge. Those three guys are just you can mix and match any three of those guys, and it's just they're out there making plays.
I love all three of them. I don't know which one I like the best, to be honest with
I
you.
know.
And even in
I
Marcus Golden coming on the outside,
yeah.
dude, he's been doing
He's been
very good. So
yeah, and Herbig
linebacker
too. Yeah.
position, big increase from last year, man.
Oh yeah, huge.
We're gonna go to DBs. How do you feel that the DBs played this weekend?
This could probably be my highest grade, C plus.
Derpy DBs.
D.
Did you say a B or a D?
He said D.
I
D.
said B.
Oh, you said B. Okay, my bad, Derp. Yeah, we were only one really play that we were burnt on. That was that miscommunication on the back end between it was a Kazee and Porter Jr. Like who was supposed to cover deep, who was supposed to cover
They just
short.
the
Was it
touchdown.
a cover two or a man two? So it was a communication. Porter said, "Hey, it was my fault. I should have had the back the whole
Yeah,
way. I shouldn't have broke the route off."
yeah, the
So
touchdown.
yeah, that
They,
was like
the thing
the only
about it,
one
they
that was
don't
like,
have
ugh.
the Jacksonville don't have a guy. They don't have that one guy that's going
They
to
have
kill you.
guys.
They have a nice core of
I like their core.
receivers. If they had that guy, or they were a little bit better in that whole department, I think the game would have been different. But they just they as we say, they need pieces as well before
Yeah,
they're going to get better.
they're
They have some main
mhm.
pieces in place, but they are a big receiver away
Yeah.
also.
Oh yeah. Like Evan Ingram, their tight end, he's beastly. Like Calvin Ridley, yeah, he's up and down this year after his suspension. Christian Kirk's a good player. But like you said, if they can get a true top flight number one
Yeah, there's still a
receiver,
few pieces away.
oh,
They're a good team. TJ's playing hard. I agree. As Steeler freak, I mean, shouldn't we just be happy that this guy's playing even if he is hurt? Because we're so quick to jump on him. Well, why ain't he playing? Why he's always out? He's always injured. You know what? The guy has a dislocated finger that needs a surgery. He has a heel. Maybe we should just be happy that we're getting 50% of TJ, because you know what? A lot of times that's better than a lot of guys at 100%. So again, that's a whole different debate, which we could do later on. Again, we're trying to get through these scores,
I
guys.
don't hate TJ. I just want to throw it out there. I don't hate it.
The special teams in this game, Mike, special teams, anything stand out to you one way or the other?
Oh God,
I think the only thing that
the
I would call would be the missed field goal, but that was after
missed field goal.
the
The punting. Asking Harvin to directional kick is a
mm,
big mistake. Just let him boom it down there.
yeah, that's all. Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's
his
not a
thing.
really good directional kicker.
Uh,
You remember Josh Miller? He had that big booming leg, and Cowher always wanted him to a directional kick, even would flip out when he couldn't do it. But yet, when he would boom it down there, you just let him kick. He's better when you just let him boom it down there. Don't let him
Derpy,
directional kick. Boom it.
special teams, Derpy.
Derpy.
Derpy, are you alive?
A.
Oh,
Yes.
An A. I like it, Derpy.
Wasn't
My man
expecting
is.
that. I didn't know what the hell I was expecting, but
I
that
love. That's
wasn't
why I
it.
love Derpy. You never know what you're going to get from the
No.
Derps. I love it.
If you go back through the on the board, if you go back, Steeler Freak said that the funny thing about Steeler Freak, he always calls him Derby, but he says Derby is a teacher at the dog obedience school. He might be.
That's why he always.
He's an
He doesn't
enigma.
have
We
the
just
dog
don't
up
know.
today,
We just don't
but
know.
Derpy's an enigma. He always keeps us guessing, keeps me on my toes.
The last
He didn't make fun of my beautiful shine today, Derpy. Is everything okay?
Shine bright like a diamond.
There
you
we
go.
go. There we go.
last one, guys. The coaches coaching. How do you feel the coaching did this week? This goes from top to bottom. This goes from the head coach. It goes to the offensive coordinator. It goes to the defensive coordinator, all the way down to special teams, guys. How do you feel that this, was this team prepared? Was the strategy there? Was the game plan in place? Mike, what do you give this coaching staff for the game against Jacksonville?
I'm gonna go with B. We a B. Right out the gate, Matt Canada came out firing. Plays were there. Just both quarterbacks struggled to get them there. And defense, I thought we had an okay defensive game plan. It's just we held them to 20 points. Hard to criticize that. Special teams is what it is. I'm gonna go with the B. They seemed ready to play. They just got beat by a better team.
And you got an argument too that this team was affected also by penalties. And
Yeah,
they're probably sitting there saying, if it wasn't for these referees, we could have scored 35 points against the
yeah,
Steelers team, which I don't disagree with.
yeah. Well,
Derpy,
like
special teams
the overall coaching, you meant.
or coaching, I'm sorry.
B.
All right. There you have it, everybody. Let's go through some of these games through the weekend, Mike. Derpy. What week are we? That was week 8.
Week 8.
All right. So we talked about the Buccaneers Bills Thursday. That was last week. All right. So I'm going to start with this Jets Giants game, guys. Jets beat the Giants 13-10. In overtime, this is the game where the Giants managed to pass for a negative minus 9 yards against this Jets defense. Mike, anything to say about the Jets Subway Series?
You want to talk about controversy, ref controversy? They let the Jets Jets are hurrying up. They let them set their own ball after a play and then spike it. You know how the ref's supposed to come over and set the ball?
Yeah.
They did not. And it gave them time to, I think, kick the game-winning field goal or the field goal to get into overtime. Yeah, so.
Mike, I think the first time I seen something like that. Remember a couple weeks ago I sent you that video where the referee just threw the ball on the ground and ran away?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with these referees?
This is why, they people are calling for they need to be all in-house officials, no more day jobs. Like, this is your job. You work for the NFL. You are trained at the NFL facility day in, day out. And they need to. It needs to change. It's ruining the product.
Absolutely. That's what it comes down to. You're ruining the product. Eagles over the Commanders 38-31. This game was it's deceiving because it was a good game, and
yeah,
there was points in this game you thought Washington was going to win this football game.
I thought they were going to pull it out too.
Ultimately, however, the Eagles, they do keep up their division leading dominance, as you call it, over the NFC East. They win this game 38-31.
Like Sam Howell, he's showing that he might be a true, I don't want to say franchise quarterback, but like on the cusp of becoming one. Another 4-touchdown performance against this damn good Eagles defense.
The next game, guys, the Cowboys over the Rams 43-20. Vikings over the Packers.
That was a
24-10 in a game where they lose Kirk Cousins for the season.
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately going to affect their chances of winning that division. You have Detroit doing what they're doing. Minnesota was kind of hanging in there just because, but I say kiss this season goodbye.
Yeah, and God, the Packers once again, man, they need to get help for Jordan Love. Their receivers cannot get open. My Lord.
Tennessee Titans coming to Pittsburgh next. They beat the Atlanta Falcons 28-23 in this football game.
Will Levis. Who saw this coming?
Well, here's the thing. We're seeing it coming now because Will Levis is coming to town and he's bringing Terrell Edmonds with him, baby.
And, oh, God, he had, 4 touchdowns. D. Hopkins finally gets off the schneid and 3 he had 4 catches, 3 touchdowns at one point. This team is going to be rough, and then you have Derrick Henry. Unless there's something crazy happens at the trade deadline and they blow this team up, it might be a long night Thursday night for the Steelers.
Miami Dolphins 31, New England Patriots 17. No surprises here.
No, none
this
whatsoever.
game between the Colts and the Saints. The Saints win 38-27.
Fake news. The Colts should have won that game.
The game between the two top quarterbacks drafted this year in the draft. So much to everyone's surprise, I think the Panthers pulled it off. They beat CJ Stroud and the Texans.
I was surprised about that one. Both quarterbacks looked pretty good in that game. This looked the best game Bryson has played all year.
Let's see, Seahawks over the Browns. We like this.
That shocked me. I thought that Browns defense would have held them.
Here's one, guys. Cincinnati over the 49ers.
I called it. I'm supposed to say that.
Cincinnati over the 49ers. So here you go. You got one team on the up, one team on the down.
No. Like Bengals started off slow. They're heating up at the right
I knew
time,
it was
man.
just going to be a matter of time, though.
Oh yeah, they were too good to be that bad.
Broncos after letting up 70 points earlier this season, they managed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home in a division game, 24-9.
Talk about a team needing a number one receiver. The Chiefs need a number one. Like
The
they're too
Baltimore
good to only
Ravens
put up 9 points.
31, Cardinals 24, Chargers 30, the Bears 13.
Ugh.
And finally, last night, the Lions beat the Raiders 26-14. Um, Devontae Adams one's out, I guess. We got the trade deadline looming like
Ooh,
tomorrow. Today.
yeah,
Is it
today.
today? Holy
I believe
moly.
it's today, yeah. And yeah, he wants out. The Chiefs need a number one. Yeah, you really don't do a trade a whole lot in your division, but hey, get a first round pick this year, maybe a second next year for him. I'd
This
do it if I was the
this
Raiders.
be what our divisions look like. The Dolphins sit atop the AFC East with a 6-2. Bills second place 5-3. Jets 4-3. Patriots 2-6. In the AFC West, the Chiefs are up top 6-2. Everybody else in that division is below 500. Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos all have 3 wins. In the arguably the toughest division in the NFL, the Ravens sit up top with a 6-2, while the Steelers in second place with a 4-3, only edging out the Browns, who are also 4-3 by a tiebreaker. But you know what? The Cincinnati Bengals also now sit at 4-3.
Oof.
And finally, the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, after picking up the big win in Pittsburgh, sit at 6-2, leading their division. And like the other division, like the division from the West, every team beneath them is under 500. Texans, Titans, Colts all have 3 wins. Titans coming to town this week. I'm going to jump over to the NFC real quick. The NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles 7-1. Their dominance continues in the NFC. The Cowboys 5-2. Commanders 3-5, Jets 2-6. Over to the NFC West, the Seahawks take over first place in the NFC West, 5-2. The 49ers drop to 5-3. Rams and Cardinals both sub 500. This what was somewhat of a competitive NFC North. The Lions sit up top with a 6-2 record. The Vikings fall to 4-4. Packers fall to 2-5, and the Bears sit at 2-6. In this division, the NFC South, arguably the worst division in the league, nobody's over 500. The Falcons and Saints are tied in first with a 4-4 record. Buccaneers 3-4, and the Panthers, who get their first win, sit there with a 1-6 record, guys.
Big trade in the
So,
NFL, real quick. Sorry.
yeah, no, please.
Yeah, there's talk about the Steelers should be trading for that Bears cornerback. I don't think the Bears are going to be sellers right now, guys. They just made a trade with the Washington Commanders for Montez Sweet. He's a damn good pass rusher, and it only took them to give up a second round pick. I don't see the Bears trading any players. I think they're trying to improve their team. So Steeler fans, I don't think we're gonna get Jalen Johnson. If they're trading out to get better players, I don't think they're going to trade one of their
Wait, who do
better
we
players.
want?
Jalen Johnson, he's one of the cornerbacks for Chicago. He's a pretty good corner. He asked to seek for a trade. They said, okay, you can go look. We're one of the teams rumored for it. But, they just traded for a star defensive lineman or, yeah, to start pass rusher. So why would they add to their defense to take away if they're not going to try and build something? So I don't know. I don't know. That's some of that big news right there.
All right, there you go, guys. A lot of we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Today is the deadline, so if anybody's coming or going, we'll know by the end of the day. Mike, I'm gonna just real quick. We're gonna dive. We're gonna dive over to hockey briefly, and I'm gonna hand it off to you for just a moment, just so I could tally up Derpy's votes. We could have a final result. I just got you counted. I just want to say Penguins lost to Anaheim last night. After beating the strongest team in hockey a couple of days ago, the Colorado Avalanche, they lose to the Anaheim Ducks. Penguins fall to 3-6. They lose the game 4-3. They play the Sharks, who are the worst team in the league, on Saturday night to start the longest road trip of the year, which is a 9-game road trip.
Penguins, man, they are just
Last
gone
night, the
awful
game,
right
geez, oh man, we had 5-on-3 to
now.
end
A
this
five
game.
on
The last
three.
2 minutes, 5-on-3. We couldn't score. And then the guy gets out of the penalty box. He steals the puck on a shorthand with 11 seconds left, goes and scores for Anaheim, puts them up 4-3. We lose that hockey game 4-3. Mike, I'm going to pass it over to you if you want to talk about this game for a moment, just so I could tally up
Oh yeah,
Derpy's picks real quick, and then we'll get ready to wrap it up.
yeah. A 5-on-3, and what do the Penguins do? Pass, 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 pass. Look for the perfect shot. Pass, 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 pass. Finally shoot. It pass. It gets deflected, like Ryan said, and then boom, empty. You're the guy coming out of the penalty box, twisted wrister. I don't know what Jari was looking at. Um, God, he had a terrible game. Even he admitted it after the game. At least he's self-aware enough to realize that, to paraphrase him, he's not playing well enough to give the boys a chance to win, because he even said, they played well enough. They deserve to win. And,
Well, the
Kyle
special
Dubas,
teams are such a pro. Like, what's going
but
on?
you have one of the top 5 greatest hockey players of all time in Sidney Crosby. You have Evgeny Malkin, a top 100 player of all time, and you Chris Letang, Eric Carlson, Jake Gensel. All these guys can score goals in the league, and they can't. Because why? It's a problem with the Penguins ever since, the 80s and not early 90s. Man, they want to look pretty on the power play. They want to look pretty. Got to have pretty goals. Got to have pretty goals, instead of just gripping it and ripping it and see what happens. You know, I don't understand. Yeah, someone's in the shooting lane. Well, guess what? It can get deflected into the goal and score. We see it happen all the time. Pretty goals still only count as one. Ugly goals count as one. It doesn't matter how they get in, so as long as they get in. This team's frustrating, man. But hey, Penguins fans, you got what you wanted. You know, Crosby, Malkin, Letang can all retire together. Who cares about winning championships anymore in Pittsburgh? It's all about feel good stories. It's all about, not having a losing record. It's all about having the boys all retire together. It's all about an 11 game improvement over a 162 game season after you had a hell of a first month. It's just moral victories in Pittsburgh anymore. We're no longer the city of champions. We're the city of moral victories.
And there you have it. Hockey coverage. Hockey.
Mike's angry rants.
Mike's angry hockey rants.
Because I want Stanley Cups.
All right, guys, I do have this
stories.
week's picks figured
I'm
out.
spoiled.
I do know who won. One of you gentlemen, of course, we're talking about our NFL picks for the week. One of the biggest parts of the show. Everybody anticipates this. One of you guys have a 10-6 record for the week. One of you guys have a 9-5 record for the week. One game difference separates the two of you.
I think Derpy got this one.
Derpy finished with a 9-5.
Oh,
it was close. It could have really went either way. Or 9-7. I'm sorry.
9-7. Yeah.
So there you go. But hey, Derpy, keep your head up, because listen, Mike stinks at this. He really does. He very rarely wins consecutive weeks. He very rarely wins consecutive weeks. So you just hang in there. Keep your head up high, buddy.
Oh. Hey, I went through on FanDuel, and I had a 15 leg parlay with all of my picks on there. One of these weeks I'm going to go 16-0, and I'm going to hit that parlay. And you guys won't see me, because I'll be out in Vegas with Steeler freaks blowing all that money.
That's right. We're coming, Steeler freak. Don't sleep on that. Also, college football.
That's how we're going to finance the trip.
Not much to talk about for the college football over the weekend. Penn State, they play a close game with Indiana. Pitt loses.
How? Penn State, how?
Well, listen to this. Pitt loses 58-7 to Notre Dame, and they have Florida State coming to town, or going to be playing Florida State this week, who's ranked number 4. So number 15 beat us 58-7. I can't wait to see what Florida State does. Ohio State won. I am not sure. Derpy, was it a big win? I don't have it in front of me. What did Ohio State do?
It was an hour win.
It was a big. It wasn't a big win though, was it?
No, it wasn't a blowout.
Derpy.
All right. But there you have it, guys. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website? We'll get into this trivia, man.
The2dumbyinjers.com. Head on over there for all your 2 Dumb Yinjers needs. All of our socials on there, merch stores on there, blogs on there. Yeah, that's about it, man. The2dumbyinjers.com.
I like it better. I like it better
Dirt.
when Steeler Free calls him Derby.
Me too.
Uh, all right, guys. Here's the trivia question of the week, everybody. Of course, this is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans trivia. Here we go, guys on the board. You're welcome to play as well. What year did the team move to Tennessee? Of course, we're talking about the Tennessee
Ooh.
Titans franchise. What year did the team move to Tennessee? If you want choices, I'll give them to you in just a moment. Think that over. We're live, everybody, all week long, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here. And also the show that we do live every day, brand new. We upload that same day at 8 o'clock p.m. over on Spotify in podcast form. If you only have a chance to listen to the show, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're in the car, whatever. It gets uploaded at 8 o'clock p.m. over on Spotify, brand new every day. All right, guys, the question of the day is this. It's a Jacksonville Jaguar question. That's who we play. That's our questions this week. What year did the team move to Tennessee? Does anybody want choices?
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark.
Okay.
2001.
2001. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, Derpy. Do you want choices?
Yeah.
You know Derpy wants choices.
All right, got Mike locked into place. Here we go. What year did the team move to Tennessee? Was it A, 1997, B, 1995,
Ooh.
C, 2001, or D,
Ooh.
1999? I'm looking for the year that the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee and became the Titans. 97, 95, 01, 99. Just missing your birth
90,
year, I noticed. They got before and then after it.
95.
I'm going with 1995. So Derpy says 95. Mike says 01. I got to make sure I lock Derpy in. All right, gentlemen, here we go. What year did the team move to Tennessee? Was it 97, 95, 01, or 99? Derpy says 95. Mike says 2001. And of course, the answer, guys, is 1997.
Ooh, damn.
1997 was the year that the Tennessee Titans were born. It didn't take too long because 2 seasons after that, they ended up in the Super Bowl playing against the greatest show on turf. So, Mike, anything before we get ready to take off, brother?
Yeah, Steeler fans, don't expect them to make any splashy moves on the trade deadline.
Okay.
There's really no one out there that's going to improve this team greatly to where we're going to be a Super Bowl contender all of a sudden.
Derpy, anything before we get ready to take off?
Forget everything Mike just said.
Okay.
Why did that trade just happen?
It's
I
looking
know.
like it.
Like
It's
looking
looking
like
like it.
looking like what, Levi Wallace to the Bills for Elon.
Anything can happen, okay, dude?
All
That's
right.
all I'm
No,
saying.
you're
Anything
right.
can happen.
Yeah, we're gonna trade Levi Wallace for another underperforming corner. Woohoo, baby!
Well, Levi's hurt. There ain't nobody. He's not. He has no leverage right now, right? Nobody's gonna want to hurt Levi Wallace.
True.
Um, I just have to comment briefly. Steeler Freak says he goes, I will listen with my Steelers cheerleader blow up doll. I don't know what that was referring to or what that was responding to, but that was my favorite comment of the day. Comment of the day. There it is, everybody. Me, what do I have here? How many, Mike? How many licks does it take to get to the center roll Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. 3. If you know, you know, right?
You know.
All right, everybody. We do want to say thank you for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. As always, thank everybody on the board. You guys keep that going. I love it. Anybody? Anything else?
I got nothing else.
Derpy?
I got nothing.
All right. There's a better chance Ryan gets a hot girlfriend over any Steeler changes. I don't know, man.
Damn.
I don't know.
Coming in hot.
But guys, tomorrow, Mike, we may not be on tomorrow.
That's okay.
I might have to go to a different station tomorrow and do some work up there, and it's gonna be during the time that we're here.
No, that's perfectly fine,
But I did
man.
want to throw it out there. If we can, we'll be on tomorrow. But if not, we'll definitely be back Thursday. We get our picks, things like this for the week, and got a lot going on, man. So as I said, I apologize if we aren't, but if we are, we'll see you then. But everybody, for the two dumb users, we thank you for checking us out. For Derpy, Mike, myself, everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you later.